Addict. How is everybody doing
Hello.
today? I'm LT, and I'm an alcoholic addict.
I'm Chris Weaver, married to an alcoholic addict.
This is the first time catching the show. What you can expect here is recovery talk. Anywhere from new people to 16 years, 20, 30 years. It's just recovery and relapse prevention here on this channel. Support relapse prevention.
A bunch of
prevention. Y'all are going to have to bear with me tonight. Every year, I have allergies around this time of the year. And one or 2 days out of the year, allergies kill me, like take me out. So, and today just happens to be that day. I've got Claritin, eye drops, you name it, I'm taking it. And so my head's a little foggy from the allergies. I didn't take anything mind-altering, don't worry. And here I am, trying to not have my nose tickle right here, which is going to make this eye water right here. And then all of a sudden you'll see me. I got a roll of paper towels over here just in case. But y'all just got to bear with me today. This is just what it is, We'll get through it. This too shall pass. You know what I mean?
when winter comes.
When winter comes, yeah. If you notice, the lights are dimmer in here because I had that bright light, and the light makes my nose tickle, which makes my eyes water, which makes me sneeze. And so I just kept the lights a little lower today. If you're noticing a little change in the color here. But relapse prevention, that's what we're all about. Recovery, 100% recovery. The rest of our lives, we need it. Might as well learn everything we can learn about it so that we can give back to those who gave to us when we were first in recovery. My old, I guess I shouldn't say that, but one of the staff members, he's a legend around here in recovery, but he would always tell us, he goes, why do I keep going to AA? And he's got years and years. He goes, what kind of person would I be if I was desperate in recovery, relying on all these people, sponsors, people that checked on me, people that reached out to me, if now all of a sudden, okay, I'm better, and you just check out and don't ever go back and return the favor to those who are still suffering and the newcomers? What kind of person would I be? Pretty commendable, I think. Once we have been given much to, we should turn around and give much back. And that's what I want to try to do the rest of my life. And I believe a lot of you in the chat feel the same way, because I've felt nothing but strength and support, the side messages, the emails of encouragement, text messages, the Discord messages, everything. You guys are amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of the family with y'all. But like I said, if I start going down, Felicia's going to have to take over this stream.
It might go down.
It might happen. So fighting. I'm hoping this, while sitting here talking to you guys, I get excited enough that my body just kind of forgets that I'm having an allergy attack. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, adrenaline will kick in, meds will kick in. It'll be great.
Claritin. We probably should own stock in Claritin for how much we take. We got Jacqueline in the house and John. I just saw y'all over at Sober James's channel. Brittany. We got James doing the toasty. Toasty. He was doing a bunch of Mortal Kombat impressions over there. Sheree and Sky, my love. What's going on? And Alicia. How's it going? Tracy, welcome. I'm glad you're here. JJ Johnson. Who's this new person?
New.
I don't even want to try to say your name. I'll just call you Coleman. All right, let's go for it. No, I can't do it. Stellavoula? Or is it Stellavoula? I can't say it. You got me stumped. Maybe you can correct me.
Magdalanie.
Just call you Stella if that's okay.
Stella.
If that's okay with you. But I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out our channel. If you want, throw us in a comment, in a nutshell about your recovery, what you've experienced, where you're at, what you know. Are you a newcomer? Are you still suffering? What's going on with you? And how can we, us here and everybody in the chat.
She's laughing at you.
Oh.
You can't say her name.
Is she laughing already? Teeter, you made it. T-Mobile went down and Teeter fought the battle. Man, T-Mobile, they were like a drug dealer today that just said, nope, no more crack for you guys. And Twitter blew up. Oh, Twitter blew up. Where's my service?
How are they tweeting without any service?
Oh, I'm sure they got computers.
Bunch of psychos.
Oh, yeah. Brittany and Kat's in the house. Connie Rice, what's going on?
Virginia, hello.
Merk, what's up, brother? Just saw you over at James's channel. Have you guys heard of Sober James? He's legendary around here, around these parts. He's so legendary. He hangs out on my microphone drinking some tea. So every once in a while we can get him to go, Toasty. But that's a dude that knows what's up with sobriety. He's dedicated. He works hard. He's been around the block. He's died a time or two. You know, that's a guy you can learn a lot from. So I highly suggest checking out Sober James's channel. Sober James. Virginia, how are you doing today? Welcome back. Daryl, how is it going? Good to see you again.
Hey,
Desmond.
30 days, y'all.
What's up, mate?
Guess who has 30 days?
Desmond has 30 days today?
Sky. Love
Oh,
it.
Sky. We didn't make her video. That's Felice's fault, as always.
It's always my fault.
We'll play a 30-day video that we have pre-recorded, but then we'll make something special for you. I'm sorry. It's been a bad day for me. Man, that's a sick beat.
Congratulations, Sky. We're so proud of you.
Yeah, we are. I was just telling her the other day we were in the Zoom meeting. Was it Saturday? The last Zoom meeting we were in together. From 30 days ago to the way you look now is just freaking night and day. You look 30 days ago, you look so sad, just like, what do I do? And now you're just like happy. You got this glow. You can see it in your eyes. Keep going. Don't turn back. You are on the right path. No doubt about it. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Hey, there's my brother Aubrey.
Hey, Aubrey.
What's up, mate?
Delicious.
Did she say we could call her Stella?
I don't know.
There she is. I'm having a struggle tonight. Uh-oh, what's going on with you? How can we help you? What you struggling with? How long you been clean? What's your drug of choice? I mean, this is all up to you. If you want to put it out there, we will help you out here live on TV. But it's up to you. But let us know what your drug of choice is, how long you've been using, how long you've been clean, and what you're currently struggling with. And when you throw that out there, you're going to notice that Felice and I, a lot of times, have experienced it. She'll experience the non-addict side. I have the experience of an addict, being a meth addict that's landed in jail, an alcoholic who's had to detox and go to IOPs. You know, jails, institutions, I've been there. Death is the only thing on my list I haven't checked off yet. And then everybody in this chat is full of wisdom. We also have a private Facebook group. I don't know if you've joined that yet or not. There's another good place. It's private. You can throw it out there, get to know some people. And I'm telling you, it really, really helps. I know I got a message the other day about how many times we've kept somebody from drinking over the last couple of months. And that to me was super encouraging. And on the flip side, you guys have kept me in check more than you know. More than you know.
So yes, we can call her Stella. 2 days sober, drug of choice, cocaine.
Ooh, okay. So 2 days in, cocaine's finally leaving the system. Body's wanting it pretty bad. Mine's playing
15 years.
Oh, mine's playing tricks on you. Have you been to IOPs or have you done rehab before? What's the longest time you've been sober in those 15 years? Chat, help her out. What do you guys think?
Stress.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hey, Soup.
Soupy.
Soup's got them allergies too.
Oh man. Today was one time when Felice and I were first getting together, she invited me to a wedding. One of her friends was getting married, and she didn't know about my allergies and stuff like that. And I had one of those piercing allergy attacks, and it feels like literally somebody has a push pin on the inside of my nose trying to push it through my nostril, make it pop out. And I have to just go lay down. I have to sleep it off. It's like a waste of a day. And she's just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? A full box of tissues. You know, when you wipe your face with tissues and stuff, you got white specks of tissue all around. I had that. My nose was red. And so I was like, man, this girl ain't going to like me for very much longer. Look at me. I'm a mess.
Make sure you tell James hi.
Sober James in the house. That's who I was talking about, everybody, right there. See? That guy right there is on my microphone. That's how much we love Sober James over here on this channel. Not only is he on my microphone, he's in my Staying Sober book hanging out too. Oh, and that mug he's drinking out of right there? Yeah. That's it right there. That's it. And James, to answer your question about why I haven't been drinking out of it, it's because I'm an addict. It doesn't hold enough. I end up sipping out of an empty cup 20 minutes into my stream. I'm like, oh, it's empty. Oh, it's empty. 10 times I did that. I was like, okay, I'm done sipping out of an empty cup. And you'll see I'll kill this one too, but Linky usually comes around. Yeah, by then. You know how us addicts are.
Melatonin to the max.
I don't need to drink tea. I could sit here literally for this hour, read out of our book, talk to y'all, and all I have to do is just hold my hands like this, but I can't. I'm an addict. I have to be consuming something. Like James said on his channel, gotta be consuming something all the time. Oh wait, I'm done talking. Let me hit my vape. Friggin' addict. Still haven't overcome. I still got a long ways to go. James beat the nicotine. I'm trying. Well, no, I'm not. I guess I'm planning.
He's got plans.
I got some plans. I got me some Zins to chew on. But I just, you know how it is. Just got to make that decision and go for it. I ain't done that yet. Is this one not working?
No.
This
Oh,
is.
now it is. It wasn't, so I quit on it. Have you? Yes, we've been seeing your comments.
Who?
James.
Yeah, I must have missed one or so. I get to blabbing and I don't see them when they're
all.
zooming. We're just behind on we're behind on comments. We get behind when I just start blabbing away. My other half seems to be trying to press my buttons. My car broke down. Everything going wrong today. Woo wee. Your other half may not be trying to press your buttons. You may just be overly stimulated right now with oh, here it comes. With your coming off your drugs, Oh man, there it went.
You guys are about to witness something awesome. Look how red your face got.
I know, I told you. My drug is actually crack and cocaine. My anxiety is super strong. Whew. Do you have a support system? Do you have people near you, around you in your community? Do you have AA or NA or Zoom meetings you can be a part of? Please join this group and reach out. We're starting extra Zoom meetings. I'm going to throttle back on these lives here coming up after I get a good plan in order. And I'm going to do some more Zoom meetings to facilitate these type of things. I like to come out here and teach, and then I would like to be able to talk and practice with each other as we
Keep
go.
your head up,
James
girl.
wants attention. I got an idea. You talk for a minute.
Cherie. Ever since I quit eating donuts and cake, my go-to is iced coffee. Also, I always have to have it. I get this Starbucks blonde, and I put that little liquid sugar, some half and half. It's delicious. Love it. What we got? Christiane Cook. I'm 24. Went to Nexus Women's Rehab for 33 days. Got out, relapsed. I'm 8 days sober now. Awesome. 8 days. Keep going. Have to meet with CPS tomorrow. Y'all pray for me. We are praying. I'm doing everything I can to get my daughter back. She'll be 2 in September. Oh my gosh, 2 is such a cute age too. Life is so hard without my kid. I feel so alone. I used since I was 11. Well, sounds like you got a good start there, Christiane. 8 days. That's good.
That's way good.
Oh, and
Keep
twos,
it
man.
up.
They're so cute at 2. That must be her in that picture.
Oh, let's get a close up.
Gorgeous.
Oh yeah, way gorgeous. We're with you. Wow, we are way behind in the chat. Hi, Chihuahua. Hey, you guys want to see James real quick? This is James. I'll show you. Right there. Look at that mug.
Aw, cute.
That's James. That is sober James right there.
Well, hello there, boys and girls. My name is James.
He's in the chat, guys. If you guys want to say hi to this guy, he's in the chat.
Addict and alcoholic.
He's a grateful addict and alcoholic. Been there, done that, just like the rest of us. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Gina, hey guys. Been good, just busy, still sober, going strong. Yes, good job. Packing and moving right now. I had a girl. Proud of you. Jolie.
Hi, Jolie.
Hey, did you get your package yet, Jolie? We sent it off to you. I can't remember what day. Last week or before the weekend.
Friday?
Friday? Then we sent it to you Friday. If you didn't get it, you should be getting it soon. Sawyer House, what's up?
Hey, Sawyer House.
You definitely have a problem there. Jump, little doggy. All right, June 15th, AA thought of the day. Now that I've got a clear spot in my allergy attack, I will read. In AA, we have three things. We have fellowship, faith, and service. Fellowship is wonderful, but its wonder lasts just so long. Then some gossip, disillusionment, boredom may come in. Worry and fear come back at times, and we find that fellowship is not the whole story. Then we need faith. We were alone with nobody to pat us on the back. We must turn to God for help. Can you say this? Thy will be done, and mean it? Think about that. When you are alone and there's no one to pat you on the back, that's when you got to turn to your higher power. And that's what I was talking about, that spiritual Zoom meeting, because I think it's important to not, on this channel, we go through books, right? Right now we're in Addictive Thinking. We're going to look at guilt and shame here in a minute. We learned what this book, Staying Sober, was. We went through a detailed thing about the 12 steps, but I think we're lacking on the spiritual side of things and understanding what that means. And so I think we need to have a weekly session where we talk on spiritual things. I talk about my higher power. You talk about yours. We experience what we know about our higher powers, how we lean on them, and what we can do and learn from each other, how to rely and rest in that. You know what I'm saying? So that's coming soon. FYI. Thank you so much, Stella. We are here for you. Make sure you join that private Facebook group, though, because everybody in that group is amazing as well. You got some very strong recovering people in there, some people who are actually counselors. It's an amazing thing. I gain strength from it all the time. No strings attached. Just join and comment.
Did you see Jolie got her stuff?
She did?
Yes, somewhere in all of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
And bookmark.
Oh yeah. What do you think? You're one of the first ones to get a bookmark.
Unless Petey beat you to it. Did you get yours yet, Petey? Thanks, Stella. How do I get to private page? I will put the link and you can go to private page.
Here's our meditation of the day. There is beauty in a God-guided life. There is wonder in the feeling of being led by God. Try to realize God's bounty and goodness more and more. God is planning for you. Wonderful are his ways. They are beyond your knowledge. But God's leading will enter your consciousness more and more and bring you ever more peace and joy. Your life is being planned and blessed by God. You may count all material things as loss if they prevent your winning your way to the consciousness of God's guidance. Now, Felicia and I have been on a path of that lately. We're getting all rid of all our worldly material that we just don't need. It's just to drag us down. I talked about it last night. Do you want to work a job that pays you $10,000 to $20,000 more a year just so you can have a little bit of a nicer car? When you could reduce your job $10,000 to $20,000 a year, scale back your car, and have a much more beneficial and rewarding and happy life. That's the epiphany I've experienced lately. So here's our prayer of the day. I pray that I may earn the rewards of God's power and peace. I pray that I may develop the feeling of being led by God. And if you are new here on the YouTube side, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we are live every night at 8 o'clock to bring you hope, strength, and all that good stuff. Look at us as a bridge to a community of strength. And another thing I want you all to know is we have a very special guest Wednesday, okay? Listen up, pay attention. If you notice, I got a picture of this guy right here in the corner. His name's Frank, okay? He's from Philly. He runs a channel called Faces of Kingston, right? Some of you may know him. Some of you may not know him. My suggestion is to go check out his channel.
I will look up the link.
It's called Money Over Morals. He goes through Kingston, one of the worst parts of Philadelphia, and he interviews a bunch of addicts, and he's out there all the time. The dude does good things. He pulls his truck up. They got food. They got clothes. They got waters, and they're handing out food and clothes, especially in this time right now. And he goes out and he just loves on these people. It's crazy. It's something you don't see people do very often. You know, they'll just walk past the addict. Instead of giving them money, he's out there, here's a pair of boots, here's a shirt, here's a bag of chips. And then has a sincere, loving conversation with him. How are you doing, brother? What's going on? How, all this, man, I look up to the dude big time. And he will be our special guest this Wednesday night at 8:00. So make sure you tell your friends, tell everybody to make sure they tune in. I'm going to schedule it after we get off of here. I'm going to build the thumbnail. I'm going to do all the stuff. I'm going to schedule it, and I'll share it to the private Facebook page, group, all that stuff, Discord. And then make sure you invite everybody else too, because step 12, right? Carry the message. And on top of carrying that message, treat people with love. A lot of people look down on addicts. They walk right past addicts. I mean, they treat them less than humans. Not this guy. You can tell just by the way he looks into their eyes. He has true care and compassion. Haven't been an addict himself, and now he's just on the flip side of things. He's making people look, these religious people around the world look bad because he's actually doing the thing. He's actually taking care of the poor and helpless. It's admirable. So I highly suggest you go check out his channel, like his videos, subscribe, watch a few of his videos before you see him Wednesday, so when he comes to tell his story, you know what he's all about.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. I just saw that you were still on that.
So until then, wow, I usually have to go way over here, but my lens, I got a different lens on there. So until then, Frank's going to be hanging out here until Wednesday.
Oh, we need to get bigger shirts.
Are you calling me fat?
Yep. PD's didn't fit. I need bigger ones. And we need one for Will. Somebody else wanted a big one.
Okay, like I said, you guys, we are redoing all our finances. Felice and I are taking some drastic measures in our life to put all of our efforts into this channel. We're going to stockpile shirts, hoodies, hats, vests, and we're going to make sure we have enough sizes for everybody. And we're going to make a big stockpile of everything before I finally jump ship from my job and do this full time. But I'm this close, y'all, this close. And your guys' support helps, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, that was a lot of chit chat before we got into our topic of the day. My goodness.
Is this one called Guilt and Shame in Your Life, or is it just Guilt and Shame? What's the name of this? Guilt and Shame in Your Life? It always says Guilt and Shame in Your Life. Well,
I could only see out of one eye today, guys. I could only see out of one eye.
It's shame. But thank you, Teresa, for clarifying.
I told you I was having an allergy attack, and I could only see out of one eye.
Yeah, John, we got some of them LXLs for your friend.
You guys want to keep talking and supporting people in the chat tonight, or do we want to jump into this, or do you want to save this chapter for tomorrow? What we're going to be talking about is guilt. The guilty person says, I feel guilty for something I have done, and the shame-filled person says, I feel shame for what I am. And that's addict thinking. This book is about understanding self-deception, and when you feel shame instead of guilt and remorse, that could be detrimental to your addiction. So I guess we'll just go there.
Brittany said, oh, thought there was no excuses, LT.
Ouch, shut up, Brittany.
A snot dripping down
Yeah.
his nose. You can really see how there's no excuses.
Okay. It is commonly thought that addicts are guilt-ridden, right? And certainly when we hear an addict person expresses remorse, we sense how deeply guilty this person feels. But addicts may indeed feel genuine remorse, but often they feel not guilt, but they feel shame. And there's a big difference. And this really hit me hard today. And the difference between guilt and shame is, like I just said before, the guilty person says, I feel guilty for something I've done. I feel guilty that I caused these fights between my wife and I. But the shame-filled person says, oh my gosh, I feel shame for what I am. I'm a piece of nothing garbage, and I feel shame for that. And when you put that kind of pressure on yourself, It could lead down to dark places. So why is the distinction so important? It's because people can apologize, make restitutions, make amends, and ask for forgiveness for what they have done. They can do pathetically little about what they are. Okay? Alchemists during the medieval times spent their working lives futilely trying to convert lead into gold, right? Not going to happen. A person feeling shame doesn't even try, and this is what they're thinking. I can't change my substance. I am made up of inferior material. There is no reason for me to make any effort to change. It would be an act of futility. So instead of feeling guilt, they feel shame. They look at themselves as something that cannot change, period. So why try? And that is in essence given up and leads to suicide, which is not good, which leads to relapse, which could lead to overdose, which leads to relapse and just a drug addicted life. And you just don't care because you see no hope inside yourself, none whatsoever. And we have to understand as we come off of drugs and alcohol that this is a byproduct of what we've done to ourselves. Obviously, we can have shame before addiction, but during addiction, it creates it worse with the wiring of the toxins and alcohol and chemicals that we've put into our body over the years and years and years. And it takes a long time to rewind and reverse all this. Guilt, though, could lead to a correction in action. Shame leads to resignation and despair. So if you feel the guilt, that leads you to say you're sorry and get over it. Shame, you may say sorry, you may have that remorse, but you're not going to change anything about it because you're so ashamed of yourself. Can't even look in the mirror. You don't even want to get out of bed. You don't even want to try to get a job. You're just like, screw it. I'll stay on the streets doing drugs. This is all I am, and this is all I'll ever be. Not a healthy place to be.
Hi, Bob.
And we've learned before. Hey, Bob, you made it. Yeah, somebody's getting good at the computer. That's awesome. That's really good of you, Bob. Right on. Glad you're here. And you remember what we've been learning, right, through this book, that when you closely analyze an addicted person, it often reveals that we have very low self-esteem. We have a very deep-seated feelings of inferiority. We have inferiority complex. He goes on to say, it is not always possible to discover how feelings of shame developed, but shame can be the result of many things. And he quotes a book called Letting Go of Shame by Ronald and Patricia Potter Ephron. And they list genetic and biochemical makeup, culture, family, shaming relationships, and self-shaming thoughts and behaviors as sources of shame. But another major contributing factor may be that way that human beings come into this world, right? Humans are helpless. They remain dependent longer than any other living being, longer than, a cat. Their kittens are running off in just a couple months. Think about all the other animals and beings in this world. But humans would die without adult care for the first several years of their life. I mean, we have to be raised until we're a good 4 or 5 years old, or we would just die. And even if they are physically self-sufficient, some children remain economically dependent on parents well into the 3rd decade of life. Being dependent on others does not foster self-esteem. Helplessness and dependency can generate feelings of inferiority. I struggle with guilt, probably always will to some degree because of my daughter. Yeah. I feel the same with my kids too. My wife, my family, a lot of things too. It takes enlightened effort by parents to help their children develop self-esteem. Parents who are overprotective or do too much for a child do not allow them to develop a sense of mastery. Parents who make demands on children when they are not yet capable of fulfilling them can cause children to feel inadequate. Ideal parental and environmental circumstances are rare, Thus, many people grow up with shaky self-esteem. I imagine we've all had the childhood traumas. We've all had the divorced lives. My parents were divorced at 6, moved in with my mom for a minute, was manipulated to moving into with my grandma by my dad. And then he just launched us off when I was 13 to Michigan. I landed in Michigan. Dad changed my name and held me back a grade in school. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I got crazy and wild, moved out when I was 15. Later, I found out I ran away. I did not move out. Been corrected on that one. And I haven't been back home since. I partied and did every drug under the sun until I was 18. Landed in jail a couple times in Michigan. Was on probation, and my brother from Utah called me. My real biological brother called me and said, "Get your butt to Utah. What is going on with you?" Went and talked to my probation officer. She said, "See ya. Don't come back to Michigan ever again. You're off probation." So I left, moved back here. Nothing changed. I continued partying harder and harder and harder, taking more drugs, harder drugs, until meth came along, and I just went straight downhill after that. Boom, committing all kinds of crimes. We all have experienced it, right? The self-esteem, the inferiority. We've all had troubled childhoods. The feeling of low self-esteem or shame in addicts is usually more severe. So it's more severe in us people who are not what we call normies, right? Circumstances that ordinarily cause feelings of guilt in emotional, healthy people being feelings of shame to addicts as a kind of a short circuit. Now, this is a cool analogy about our brains and us addicts and how we are wired together. So suppose you flip the switch from your air conditioner, but instead the lights go on. Or you turn on the dishwasher and the garbage disposal kicks on. Obviously, the wires are crossed, right? And that's what happens with addicts. What should produce guilt instead produces shame. Now that you're thinking about this, think about your life and when you feel this shame. Your wires are crossed. You should be feeling guilt, not shame, because you are somebody special. You can recover. You are intelligent. You are bright. You are strong. You are here. You are listening. You are learning. Your wires are crossed. So when you feel that helpless depression, shame, know that it's your active brain working against you. And now you can learn the tools to fight that. I know when your mind starts talking to you like that and your emotions are through the roof and you feel like you can't combat it. I've had a few times in my sobriety up to this point where I've had to go lay down and mentally force myself to think other things. And, it's practice because I'll start thinking, I'll either quote Bible verses or I'll quote big book verses or I'll just think on something positive like this is cool, this is cool. And then all of a sudden, but 15 seconds into my meditation, or actually not meditation, forceful thinking, taking control of my thoughts and making myself think positively. 15 seconds into it, I spin right back off into the negativity. The chemicals are leaving your brain and giving you that anxious, depressed, heavy-hearted feeling. And then I have to shake it. No. And then you pray, come on. And it literally, I've laid in bed for 45 minutes fighting with my own mind. And that's a battle that you have to fight. Understanding that our brains are wired backwards and what we've done with the chemicals has not helped a bit. And it's a struggle. But you got to do it. Just know now that you are aware that this could possibly be happening in your brain, that you are feeling shame when you should be feeling guilt, because guilt will cause you to correct actions that you were ashamed of, that you're feeling guilty for and remorseful for. You say you're sorry, and then you live a life to not have to ever say sorry for anything like that again. But the shame, kick it to the curb. Because addictive behavior often results in improper, irresponsible, and even immoral actions, right? That's us. There are ample reasons for the addict to develop much guilt. Instead, the addict develops profound shame. You shut up, Teeter.
Yes, it is.
You shut up, Teeter. And on that note, I'm going to change the subject and drop in Cassie's quote of the day.
Yay.
Well, hello, my recovering addict family. I'm here today with your motivational quote on recovering addicts. The Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you and guard you from the evil one. And today, that really just had me juiced. The fact that he will be faithful. Nobody else is faithful. And a lot of people in this world that are not faithful, they just cannot accomplish that. But to have the peace knowing that he will be faithful and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one brings me so much peace. So I'm glad I can share that with you guys. And as always, let's bring it together and continue to spread that love.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie.
Welcome, Marcus.
So shame. We've done a lot of crap in our lives. I have done stuff that I will not disclose to anybody when I was drunk and high. Back, especially the stuff I did in my early 20s. Oh my gosh. We have a ton of reason to develop this guilt. But instead, addicts develop profound shame. Shame is not only unproductive, but it is counterproductive. Suppose you had an automobile, okay, that was operating well, but a part became defective. You would replace that defective part and the car would run well again. If, however, you found your car was a lemon and each time you corrected a problem, something else went wrong, you might throw your hands up in disgust. You might justifiably conclude there is no purpose in getting the car repaired. And this is what happens in addictive thinking. The profound shame that addicts feel results in their thinking that is futile to change their ways. Guilt might have been undone by making amends, but amends cannot change the defective material addicts feel they are made of. You made amends, you said sorry, you restored a relationship, but still deep down inside you may feel there's no changing what you're made of, right? When in fact there is. Remorse in the addict is as common as dandelions in the spring. The addict's tears can be heart-tendering, right? Any listener unaware of addictive thinking would swear this person will never again touch another drop of liquor or take another drug. You've seen people break down in remorse and sorry and cry. If you've been in an IOP or programs, you definitely have. Now here's the story. Ed, a 44-year-old electrician, came to rehab center from another city because he was afraid his alcoholism would be exposed by a local treatment. On admission, Ed was in deep remorse. How could I have brought such disgrace to the people I love most? How could I have done that to my family? I love them and I've treated them badly. I'll kill myself before I'll ever take another drink. Late that night, the nurses called me to say Ed was acting strangely. On my suggestion, she searched his room and found a bottle of vodka 3/4 of the way empty. Dude's in rehab. He's in a detox center. Completely remorseful, saying he's going to kill himself if he ever took a drink again. Ed's remorse was not insincere, but it was represented shame rather than guilt. Ed felt that no matter what he did, he would always be an inadequate husband and father, and being sober would not make him an any better person. The pain and the harm he had done to his family called for relief, and since he felt it would make no difference whether or not he drank, he reverted to the vodka that he smuggled into the facility where he planned to get sober. That is addictive thinking. Recognize this. See it in yourself, and if you start seeing yourself tipping after remorse and guilt, that's healthy, that's fine. But once you've said you're sorry and making your amends, you're going to still have a tinge of guilt. But once it starts tipping into that shame, that could lead to some very bad thing, counterproductivity, which could lead to relapse, which if it keeps getting darker and deeper is going to lead to suicide. Watch out. So if you start feeling and seeing yourself, like, you got to step back. You got to be able to pull yourself away, separate your mind from your emotional state and the way your mind races, and just take control. I know that's way easier said than done. Trust me, I know. Psychologists and addiction specialists say that the 12-step program changes shame to guilt. That's good. Where are you at? Let me know in the chat. Where are you at in your recovery? Are you still feeling full of shame, or are you into the healthy guilt? Because guilt's not a bad thing. Guilt can lead you to fixing things. Like I said, you'll say sorry, and then you'll change your life to not ever have to say sorry again. I mean, you're going to mess up and have to say sorry, but remember in addiction, how many times you said sorry without the slightest desire or inclination or whatever you call it to change your behavior to not ever have to say sorry again? You said sorry a million times, but you never were going to change. Now you can apologize, change, and not ever have to apologize for that type of stuff again. The 12-step program helps addicts understand that they have a disease. While addicts are held fully responsible for their behavior, and we are to blame. They are not at fault for having the disease. We are to blame for our behavior, but the way that we have this allergy to drugs and alcohol, that's not our fault. Addicts are expected to follow their treatment program and be totally abstinent. However, as well as make major changes in their character trait. Okay, let me read that again so it sounds better. Addicts are expected to follow their treatment program and be totally abstinent. However, as well as make major changes in their character traits. That's what the 12-step program is. And I asked for clarification because I'm a 12-step guy. I totally just, I'm sold. I went to the program. If you work it, it works. Meeting makers make it, all that stuff, right? And when we had Amber on the show, that counselor, a few weeks ago or a week ago, I said, what other programs are there besides 12 steps? Because I've really never looked because I had no desire to, because I found the value where I found it. But she says, any program that's going to help you live your life, your behavior in line with your moral values is a good program. And that's what we're doing here. That's what the 12 steps do. Get into a program that's going to help you act your moral behavior, your behavior to your moral, what am I looking for? Your moral convictions.
Convictions.
So, as addicts find acceptance among other recovering people, as addicts find acceptance, right here, safe place. Chat, safe place. Facebook group, Discord, safe place for us to help each other. And as we find acceptance among each other and discover that people who have adhered to the program and made substantial changes in their character are respected and loved, they begin to realize they too may be basically a good person. Come into the fold, join the groups, get around people who have worked the steps, have taken the measures and the practice and the learning and the tools necessary. This does not happen overnight. And become aware that you can make these changes. And being in a group of people who have been there, done that, only helps better. What's our saying, everybody? Drop it in the chat. We recover better together. Right? It's on the back of this shirt right here. Jolie knows. Look at that. Is it?
Looks so good.
We recover better together.
I got a joke.
Almost done. So what is necessary in abstinence and personality overhaul? This is how shame changes to guilt. Doing a personal inventory, sharing it with another person, and beginning to make amends all help abate guilt. Addicts who work these steps become constructive persons and begin to receive the love and respect of their families and their communities. I think the big idea behind that is if you're feeling that shame, do not isolate. If you're feeling, I said sorry, I still feel guilty, I'm worthless, I'm a piece of crap, I'll never change. You have a thought pattern like that, you need to be in touch with people who have done the steps or who are working the steps and who are working a program, because we recover better together. That's right, Kat. And stick together and let somebody help pull you out. Get into a Zoom meeting. I know Zoom meetings aren't face-to-face, but I know that there's a Zoom meeting I found the other day, and I haven't been able to find it yet. If I can find it, I'll throw it in the chat. But it's a marathon. It's 24 hours. Somehow I clicked into the Zoom meeting, and there was 158 people in there from all over the world. And you just raise your hand, and there's one lady that was facilitating. I'm not sure how they were rotating or nothing like that, but she would just call on the person. They would say their thing. So there is no reason this day and age, 2020, being as crazy as it is, we have all the means necessary to reach out at any time to get help and recover. You have just so much at your fingertips right now, just to look for resources, just to look for education, and then groups, and then people, and then not to mention your local. You know what I mean? You got local people around you need to get involved with.
John has a great idea.
We should all take video of us saying we recover better. Yes, you should.
Put it on the Facebook group.
Absolutely. Send it to me in an email or put it on the Facebook group. I'll rip it off of there.
Okay.
And I will make a freaking video. You're darn right. I feel bad we didn't make Sky a video.
Can I say my joke now?
Yeah.
In a box room, where's the hottest spot? In the corner. It's 90 degrees.
Good one, Linky.
Thank you.
So is that resonating with y'all? The guilt and shame, the difference between guilt and shame. And if you are in that shame, you're in a bad spot. And if you know you're in that shame, time to reach out. Do whatever it takes. Just like Sober James's Facebook page says, do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And it is whatever it takes to stay sober, especially within your first year. So, man, I can imagine even more. I've heard of people relapsing and dying after 15 years. So
That is Ricky, not Megan. I feel like I may have called you Megan.
dang. You was in one that had over 700 people. Dang. Hunty.
Just in case y'all.
700.
100.
100. Oh, yeah, 100.
You gotta say it right. Yes, it does.
Good. It opened my eyes to it today when I read that. I was like, oh, wow. It's so amazing. All we have to do, y'all, in recovery is just become aware of why our minds do the things they do. Once we become aware of it, write it down so you don't forget. And now we know what to look for. We don't ever have to go back to that, because addicts and alcoholics, once they are in recovery, even before the addict kicked in, we're usually on the higher intellectual stage of people. Amen. Shame can be caused by others' opinions of people, but I know that people are too proudful for themselves in the first place. Amen. Yeah, no doubt about that. Honey.
Honey. Funny. For all of you who want to ask you about t-shirts, I did put the link in the description. The website's starting to look pretty darn good, if I don't say so myself. Kat says, anyone interested? My home group has a meeting every Saturday morning, 9 on Zoom. It's called
What's that?
LCR, Ladies with Children in Recovery. Whether in your custody or not, we read from a big book. Anyone interested? Hit up Kat.
Oh man, that's awesome, Kat. I'd say if you're willing, you don't have to, but drop that link every time that starts Saturday mornings. Heck to the yeah.
Good night,
Hey,
Erin.
sweet dreams
There
there,
you
sister
are.
in sobriety. I saw a picture of her baby face today. You were
Aw.
probably like 2 or 3 in that picture. So cute.
Like it was adorable.
Yeah, that was awesome.
John's trying all 3 of the taglines.
What?
Whatever it takes, we recover better together. To stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, and stay sober.
You forgot Sober James's. The one he says about doing the damn thing.
Do what Teeter says.
Spank it. And as always, we read out of the NA just for today. And it always amazes me how it relates to our topic. And today it's called resistance to change. Because to get out of that shame and guilt, you got to change. And us addicts, we don't take change very well. Many of us cling to our fears, doubts, self-loathing, or hatred because there is a certain distorted security in the familiar pain. It seems safer to embrace what we know than to let go of it for the unknown. Isn't that just crazy? We're crazy. And that's out of the basic text, page 34. We have often heard it said that when the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the pain of changing, we will change. Our fear can keep us from growing, afraid to end relationships, change careers, attend new meetings, begin new friendships, or attempt anything out of the ordinary. We stay in situations that are no longer working far longer than we have to, simply because what is familiar feels safer than the unknown. Any change involves overcoming fear. What if I'm alone forever? We might think if we consider leaving our lover. What if I find out I'm incompetent? We may wonder when we contemplate changing careers. We may balk at attending new meetings because we will have to reach out. Our minds manufacture 100 excuses for remaining right where we are, afraid to try something new. We find that most of our pain comes not from change, but from the resistance to change. In NA, we learn that change is how we move forward in our lives. New friends, new relationships, new interests, and challenges will replace the old. With these new things in our lives, we find new joys and loves. So just for today, everybody, I will release the old, embrace the new, and grow. Boom.
Boom, ski. John fixed it.
Doing the damn thing for we recover better together and staying safe, staying sane, staying strong, and staying sober. That's pretty awesome.
Yep, marketing.
Yeah, John, you should come and help join the Recovering Addict team and help me market stuff. Hate derives from fear. Yeah, absolutely. Uh-oh, your turn.
Very good, Aubrey. I like that. You like your mic drop.
I made it. I made it through the allergy
Thank
check,
you.
y'all. Thank you, John. Oh,
He
man.
survived.
Today, man, my allergies. We went disc golfing down in Riverdale. Riverdale is Riverdale, named for a big because it's a riverbed. And we kicked up all kinds of dust. I didn't take any Claritin. This was about, 3.5 weeks ago? I ain't been the dang same since.
TJ also says, God bless you.
Thank you, TJ. TJ, you're an awesome member of Discord. I don't get in there enough. But...
Yeah, you sneezed all over Aubrey's message about affliction.
All right, let's start over. We are so comfortable in our own afflictions, believing this is life. I was there in that headspace. Today, my mind and heart have been renewed. Amen, Aubrey. I love it.
Thank you.
Ugh.
Oh, you guys are all so nice.
Yeah.
Because they put it in the forest.
Oh, man, I started working out again a little bit. I think I'm allergic to that, too. I was in there, so I'm working out, right? My heart started beating fast. I got kind of sweaty. I guarantee I'm allergic, so I might need to stop doing that.
He doesn't say, God bless you. I say, get away from me.
Coronavirus!
Disc golf brought to you by Claritin.
That's awesome.
Is it the...
Do I really say Dale that crazy?
It's Dale, right?
I don't know.
Dale.
That's my Utah
Dale.
accent coming out, I guess.
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Dale. I don't know.
Dale or Del? Is it Del Taco or Delicious?
It's delicate.
Del. Dale or Del?
It's Riverdale.
I think it's Riverdale. Dale.
It's
Gale.
like Dale, like the name.
Yeah, Riverdale.
My mom can't say pen and pin. It's
I just
pin
say
and
Dale. Riverdale. That's all you get. Know what I love about this? We never put each other down. We have a good bunch. Yeah, dude, we are some amazing people in this chat. Am I saying it wrong, Alicia? I bet Alicia understands me and doesn't even bat an eye at it.
Dale?
Thank you, Merc. Merc, you need to send me
Yeah.
your address so I can get you some bookmarks.
That's a Taco Bell story. Del Taco?
Yeah, we got Del Tacos out here.
We got Taco Bells too.
Taco Bell's just not as good as Del Taco. We had this discussion, and then Merc jumped in his truck and went and got
Dale
some
Taco.
Del Taco. Dale Taco. Dale. Dale.
Delmar. Dale? Are you Dale? Not the tacos again. We love the tacos. 21 Oakwood. Does that help?
Was this comment coming through? I
That's
don't
where
see it yet.
Merc is.
20, was that your prison cell? 21 Oakwood. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's do
Were you
this.
attacked by a Taco Bell dog?
A little chihuahua.
It's next to 21 Drum Street.
That is awesome. Where's my ending? There it is. Okay, guys, remember next Wednesday, this man right here, Frank, he's amazing. He goes down to Kingston. He runs a channel called Morals Over Money, Faces of Kensington. He's going to be here Wednesday night, so make sure you guys are here for that one. That's going to be a fabulous, the dude's amazing. Well, let's say our prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you, God, for everybody in the chat. Thank you for Frank and what he does out there in Philly. I just pray that we can have the love for others that he does, dear God. And we thank you that he gets to come on our show Wednesday. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
You guys will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Hopefully I won't be all allergied up. And our topic tomorrow, what chapter we are on, is
12.
whoa, omnipotence and impotence. Wow.
Oh.
That's a deep subject. I better get to studying that one tonight. Cool. So we'll be on chapter 12, addictive thinking, tomorrow. Until then, don't put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together. Show over.